And here's me. Does that look right?
Yeah.
Very good.
There's my babe.
So
Blessings on your
I
journey.
mean, very, very fulfilling for us. You know, since you asked the question, it's just been wonderful to have this time with you guys. To go in depth into the process, you know, and cover some more of the real details of what it's all about. And you know, I'm really glad you told me. Maybe it was Liz who said it, about what Tessa said. She hasn't even had time to contemplate. Because I feel like we're on the cusp of people whose recognition of how earth-shaking this is, by virtue of who they are and how they're connected, it's going to make a big difference. And it's time. I'm ready.
But for me, you know, what I said this afternoon was a huge thing. How that void that I've been living with for the past 30 odd years, this year is just gone. After our meeting and so on, the void is just gone. It's just a case of, okay, it's going to happen, so let it be and enjoy the process as much as I can. It's not always enjoyable.
No, it's not. And you see, you know, the integration of deep shadow material in this context requires, as I was saying to Tessa, such freedom from technique and from all capacity to manipulate phenomena. And that's why I didn't get a chance to say to you at the end there, but that deeper weight, that other piece that you're carrying, it's the next level of the total divinity of spiritual material nature that you're falling into owning. And there are pieces of it that are probably related to Raj and your own life and your own background, incarnations, whatever. There are other pieces of it that almost certainly it's inevitable that they're related to your, what we call psychogenetic current. So there's a heavy weight. I mean, if you just look at India and Africa, of which you've got two great whole continents of the human bloodstream, and there's a lot that's heavy and dark and deep. Even though your experience and your family's experience in Africa wasn't particularly, it wasn't, you didn't go through atrocities, things like that. But there's that dimension of it also. So you see, you can't know what the stuff is. Right? But every one of us is like a human acupuncture needle. And who we are and where we are, and where we've been, and what of the human genome we are precisely incarnated. All of that gets released a bit at a time. So there's no way to really gauge and say, well, this is what that feeling is all about. The best we can do is articulate what the different potentials of it might be about. And then, you know, then you get to be with it and feel, well, you know, what feels like what it's really most about for me now. And that has its validity.
While you were saying that, something just came up about the atrocities in Africa. When I was 1, we had to leave Uganda. I was born in Uganda because of Idi Amin. Yeah, Idi Amin. And Mum's fear of home. They left all the money, everything behind. They would be literally just had to leave the country that night. The fear, and I was only 1, but the fear, it's almost like I can feel it. from my parents, and I can feel that fear now. And to start up then at a very young age, I think they started off in a new country with equivalent of today's £100. And the
So
And a baby.
As it turns out, I was wrong. and that's one of the most horrific, unfortunate of a long line, still ongoing today in Darfur and elsewhere, of essentially mad, horrific brutality in the motherland of humanity. And there's just so much dues to pay. So, thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you for bringing it up, or sending stories, making me aware of it.
So you see, this is another piece, and again, there's only so much we can do today. This is another piece of the multidimensional currency exchange, the values, and what that means is the processing that goes on between these awakening and awakened bodies and the rest of the biosphere and the whole world. And you're growing into your work even before you're really altogether in your mind equipped to be doing it, quote unquote. So, we didn't get to talk about the psychogenetic bloodstream stuff today. It's just too much.
No.
I mean, it could have come up, but it didn't.
Sure. There were so many questions I wanted to ask today, but I just felt they weren't appropriate because it was very specific to.
Things off on tangents.
Right. I wanted to ask about the rock, this and that, and it never really came up. So yeah.
And also,